Shalom, back again. All praises to the Most High. I was just going over the laws of the Most High. And I'll start off by saying this, that whether you agree with it or not, when it comes to the Atonement Day, the Day of Atonement, some people believe they got to keep a day. Now, I'm not saying you can't do it, just for ceremonial purposes, but the true atonement is the day that you enter into the straight gate through faith and repentance of baptism and enter into Christ or Messiah. That is the day of your atonement. For he is the atonement. That's for your consideration. And he was a lamb slain from the very foundation of the world. Therefore, the laws that are done away with are sacrificial laws of animals and things of that nature. But we're going to get into the other laws. Today, we were talking about property and property rights. I was just looking over that. And I'm going to go to the Northern Kingdom's explanation to expound on it, to see if it gives us any more explanation than just reading it from the Bible. I'm going to use the Bible scripture, but see if the Northern Kingdom's explanation gives us a deeper explanation of the subject. Let's see. I'm going to start off with, it says, not to sell a field in the land of Israel in perpetuity. Somebody think that we're talking about the literal land over there where the Israelis are, but any land that belongs to the Israelites. Go to Leviticus. (25). And I'll probably do this from time to time and cover a lot of these laws pertaining to pertinent information that we need to know. Leviticus 25 and 23. The land should not be sold forever, for the land is mine, and you are strangers and sojourners with me. Stranger, proselyte, stranger. And in all the land of your possession, you shall grant a redemption for the land. If your brother be waxing poor and has sold away some of his possession, if any of his kin come to redeem it, Ruth 4 and 4, and I thought to advertise you, saying, buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know, for there is none to redeem it besides you. And I'm after you. And he said, I will redeem it. Then shall he redeem that which is his brother sold. And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that bought it until the year Jubilee. And in the year of Jubilee it shall go out, be released, and he shall return unto his possession. Leviticus 27-24. In the year of the Jubilee, the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought, even to him to whom the possession of the land did belong. And if a man sell a dwelling house in the walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year may he redeem it. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generations. It shall not go out in Jubilee. But the houses of the village which have no wall around about them shall be confounded as the fields of the country. They may redeem it. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. So whatever house is not surrounded by a wall, whoever it belonged to got to be returned back to them. But the houses of the village which have no wall around about them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession may the Levites redeem at any time. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold in the city of his possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee, for the houses of the city of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. But of the field, 2 Chronicles 31-19, also of the sons of Aaron, the priests, which were in the fields of the suburbs of their cities, in every several city, the men that were expressed by name to give portion to all the males among the priests, and to all that were reckoned by genealogies among the Levites. Of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. Numbers 35, 2-7. Command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possession cities to dwell in. And you shall give also unto the Levite suburbs for the cities round about them. And the cities shall they have to dwell in. And the suburbs of them shall be for their cattle, and for their goods, and for all their beasts. And the suburbs of the cities which you shall give unto the Levites shall reach from the wall of the city and outward of 1,000 cubits round about. And you shall measure from without the city of the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city shall be in the midst. This shall be to them the suburbs of the cities. And among the cities which you shall give unto the Levites, there shall be 6 cities for refuge, which you shall appoint for the manslayer, that he may flee thither. To them you shall add 42 cities. So all the cities which you shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities. Them shall you give to their suburbs. 2 Chronicles 11:14. For the Levites left their suburbs in their possession and came to Judah and Jerusalem. For Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto the law. And if your brother be waxing poor and falling into decay with you, his hand spills or fails, then you shall relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or sojourner, that he may live with you. Take you no usury on him, or increase, but fear your God, that your brother may live with you. You should not give him your money upon usury, debt, nor lend him your victuals for increase. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt to give you the land of Canaan and to be your God. If your brother that dwelleth with you be waxing poor and be sold unto you, Deuteronomy 15:12-18. And if your brother, an Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, be sold unto you, and serve you 6 years. See, this is what was happening back in the days when they said the Israelites, the Indians had slaves. This is what was going on. Until they learned the way of the heathen, and then what's going on among the Europeans might have been going on, but they didn't. That's not what they were doing at first. And if your brother, a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, be sold unto you, and serve you 6 years, then the 7th year you shall let him go free from you. And when you sendeth him out free from you, you should not let him go away empty. You should furnish him liberally out of your flock, and out of your floor, and out of your winepress, of that wherein the law your God has blessed you, you shall give unto him, your Israelite brother or Israelite sister. And you shall remember that you was a bondsman in the land of Egypt. And the law your God redeemed you. Therefore I command you this today. It shall be if he say unto you, I will not go away from you, because he loveth you, in your house, because he is well with you. That's what he's talking about, your brother. Ain't nobody gonna be telling Esau, oh, I love you, master. Let me live with you. Nah, that's not what was going on. That's your real brother or real sister. You also mean maybe your cousin or your kinfolk. And it shall be if he say unto you, I will not go away from you, because he loveth you in your house, because he is well with you. Then you shall take an owl, and thrust it through his ear unto the door, and he shall be your servant forever. That was by his choice, though. After all, he's still family, though. So y'all gonna probably be together anyway. And also unto your maidservant you shall do likewise. That's to your Israelite brother our Israelite sister. And it shall not seem hard unto you when you sendeth him away from you, for he has been worth a double hired servant to you, and serving you 6 years, and the law your God shall bless you in all that you do it. You shall not compel him to serve as a bondservant. Physical bondage. He not your slave. That's your brother or sister. But as a hired servant, see, now we come into some truth here. People saying, no, you was never their slave. You was actually just their hired servant. No, that's your enemy. You was his slave. That's not your brother. And he didn't treat you like no brother. But as a hired servant and as a sojourner, that's what you mean by being a sojourner. He is still your Israelite brother. He just wasn't from your part of your land. But as a hired servant, as a sojourner, he shall be with you, and you shall serve you until the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from you, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possessions of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondsmen. You shall not rule over him with vigor, but shall fear your God. Mormon 9:27. And then despise not and wonder not, but hearken unto the words of Yahweh, and ask the Father in the name of Yahweh, Jesus, as known to man today, for that things soever you shall stand in need, doubt not, but be believing and begin as in the times of old, and come unto Yahweh with all your heart, and work out your own salvation with fear and trembling before him. Both the bondsmen and the bondsmaids which you shall have shall be for the heathen that are round about you. He said, don't treat your brother and sisters like this, but treat the heathen like this. Nations are Gentiles. So you ain't supposed to rule over your brother or your sister, but that's why this is the example of what's going to happen to Esau. Both your bondsmen and your bondsmaids, which you shall have, shall be of the heathens that are round about you, or of them you buy bondmen or bondsmaids. So you can buy and sell those. But the southern kingdom wasn't supposed to be trying to buy and sell the northern kingdom, or vice versa. So this clear explanation is when they were talking about the Indians had slaves before the Europeans got here. This was the example of it. Basically, just working off what they owed to one another. Okay, well, I can't pay you, man. What kind? Well, just go ahead and clean up the yard now. But don't treat them like us. Like you gotta do it. When you feel like doing it, brother, going out there and do it. We got time. Then say, hey, you know what? I kind of like it around here, man. Do I gotta go? No, you ain't gotta go. Moreover, of the children of strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall you buy, of their families that are with you, which you begot in your land, and they shall be your possession. That's why I said we're going to have Edom going to be our possession. Possess the remnant of Esau, of Edom. Reading about it right now, how it's supposed to go. See, what they did was they reversed it and took our scriptures and did this on us. And you should take them as an inheritance for your children after you. You should inherit the Gentiles. Numbers 36:4. And when the Jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall their inheritance be put unto the inheritance of the tribes whereunto they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. Doctrine and Covenants 38:20. And this shall be my covenant with you. You shall have it for the land of your inheritance and for the inheritance of your children forever. While the earth shall stand, and you shall possess it again in eternity. See? That's why the Most High was telling us, the priesthood, to tell those Edomites who have done these things to us, in order for you to even be on the land still, to be able to be eligible to be our slaves, you got to get back 4 times what you're taking, or else he's going to kill you. And he told us to allow them to establish those places right now in this temporal world. So when things even change, it's going to be ours even throughout all eternity. And this shall be my covenant with you. You shall have it for the land of your inheritance, and for the inheritance of your children forever, while the earth shall stand. And you shall possess it again in eternity, once things change. No more to pass away. He said, I saw a new heaven and a new earth when things changed. But it was because you had already had that been established to have that land back in your inheritance. When things change, it's still going to come back to you. Now, give me a sign. They always ask me for a sign. Am I lying to you? Or did I just read it to you? You don't got to agree with the word said. And what's mine is mine. Doctrine and Covenants 38:20. And this shall be my covenant with you. You shall have it for the land of your inheritance, and for the inheritance of your children forever. While the earth shall stand, and you shall possess it again in eternity, no more to pass away. And you should take them as an inheritance for your children after you. You should take them. They shall be your bondsmen forever, perpetually. But over your brother and the children of Israel, you should not rule one over another with rigor. He's saying the difference between a brother or a sister in Israel who, by some unfortunate circumstances, can't afford to take care of themselves. So, they'll just come and do things around the house and do things like that, and until they're released at the year of Jubilee. But if they choose to stay with you because they love it so much there and love you so much, hey, do I have to go? They don't have to go. But over your brother and the children of Israel, you should not rule one over another with rigor. And if a sojourner or a stranger wax rich by you, and your brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by you, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. That's what the Most High did for all of us. Either uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him, of his family may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself. And he shall reckon with him that bought him for the year that he was sold to him unto the year of Jubilee. And the price of his sale shall be according unto the numbers of years. According to the time of an hired servant shall he be with him. If they be yet many years behind, according to him, he shall give gain again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. If there remain but few years until the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him, and according unto his years shall he give him again the price of his redemption. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with vigor over him in his sight. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then shall he go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him. So in other words, an Israelite can never be held captive forever. That's why Moses killed the Egyptian, because they was trying to rule over him with vigor. And you're not supposed to stand by and let your brethren be murdered. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. First Nephi 21:3-6, and said unto me, you are my servants, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain. I've spent my strength for naught and in vain. Surely my judgment is with Yahweh, and my work with my God. So when you're working for somebody else, that's in vain, because the true work is in the vineyard of your God. And now says Yahweh that formed me from the womb, that I should be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. That's our work, to bring our brethren back to the Father. Everything else is in vain. Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of Yahweh, and my God shall be my strength. And he said, it is a light thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give you for a light to the Gentiles, that you may be my salvation unto the ends of the earth. Doctrine and Covenants 93, 45 to 46. Verily I say unto you, unto my servant Joseph of the northern kingdom. Or in other words, I will call you friends. For you are my friends, and you shall have an inheritance with me. I call you servants for the world's sake, and you are their servants for my sake. Talking about Israel. They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the law, your God. I'm going to come back to where I was at, but let me go here, since we was on that subject. Love and brotherhood. Leviticus 19. The header reads, Israel is commanded, be holy, live righteously, love your neighbor, and keep the commandments. We go to 19 and 18. Thou shalt not avenge forbearance, forbear retribution, nor bear any grudge against the children of your people. Malice. Should not bear any malice against the children of your people. But you shall love, charity, love, your neighbor as yourself. Fellowshipping, neighbor, that's your neighbor, the people of your children of Israel, that's your neighbor. I am the law. Not to stand idly when a human life is in danger. An Israelite life. That's what Moses showed you. I'm only talking about what the scriptures are saying. So can't nobody say, well, you saying, no, I'm not saying nothing but what he said. Leviticus 19 and 16, you should not go up and down as a talebearer among your people. Gossip. You should be honest. Honesty. Neither shall you stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am the law. You should not hate your brother. Northern Kingdom explanation, though you may reprove a neighbor and not tolerate his sin, do not hate him. That means you ain't got to be a pushover and just go for it. Tell him about himself, but don't hate him. Jacob 2:7. And also it grieved me that I must use so much boldness of speech concerning you before your wives and your children, many of whose feelings are conceitedly tender and chaste and delicate before God, which things is pleasing unto God. Doctrine and Covenants 121 and 43, reproving bedtimes, or reproving betimes with sharpness. He said you got to be sharp with people sometimes. You always be, oh, well, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings. So some people's feelings need to get hurt. He said, but don't hate them. Reprove and betimes with sharpness when moved upon by the Holy Ghost. And then showing forth afterwards an increase of love towards him, whom thou hast reproved, lest he esteem you to be his enemy. You should not hate your brother in your heart. Hardness. You shall in any wise rebuke your neighbor. He said, and not suffer sin upon him. You should not avenge, forbearance, retribution, nor bear any grudge against the children of your people. Malice. But you should love your neighbor as yourself. I am the law. You should keep my statutes. You should not let your cattle gender with a diverse kind. Note that these laws are in harmony with the other admonitions to keep things pure and in proper use, separation. Note that these laws are in harmony with other admonitions. In other words, keep your relations pure too, to your brethren, your kinsmen, according to the flesh. Separation. You should not sow your field with mingled seed. Deuteronomy 22:9. You should not sow your vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of your seed, which you have sown, and the fruit of your vineyard be defiled. He's telling you don't marry these other nations. Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon you. Deuteronomy 22:11. You should not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen or linen together. And whosoever lied carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed as an husband, a man, and not all redeemed nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. There should be an investigation or inquisition. They shall not be put to death because she was not free. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the law, unto the door of the tabernacle of congregation, even a ram for a trespass offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering. Now that atonement goes through Messiah, through repentance. Meaning don't do it no more. The priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before the law for his sin which he had done. And the sin which he has done shall be forgiven him. Forgiveness. Not to intermarry with Gentiles. Deuteronomy chapter 7, the header reads, Israel is to destroy the 7 nations of Canaan. Marriages with them are forbidden lest apostasy result. Israel has a mission as a holy and chosen people. When the Lord your God shall bring you into the land whither you goeth to possess it, and has cast out many nations before you, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. Leviticus 20 and 23, and you shall not walk in the manners of the nation, which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things, and I abhorred them. He hated them. All these nations he's talking about right here, he hated all these nations. And when the Lord your God shall deliver them before you, you shall smite them and utterly destroy them. Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 34, and we took all his cities at that time and utterly destroyed the men, the women, and the little ones Of every city we left none to remain. Joshua 6:21, and they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. Joshua 9:24, and they answered Joshua and said, because it was certainly told your servants how that the Lord your God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore, we were so afraid of our lives because of you and have done this thing. You shall make Alma 5:57. And now I say unto you, all you that are desirous to follow the voice of the good shepherd, come you out from the wicked. Come out of her, my people. And be you separate. And touch not their unclean things. And behold, their names shall be blotted out. That the names of the wicked shall not be numbered among the names of the righteous. Ain't gonna be no Esau in the kingdom. That the word of God may be fulfilled, which says, the name of the wicked shall not be mingled with the names of my people. Let you know right there, Esau and these other nations are not his people. The names of the wicked, according to him, are the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites. These are the names of the wicked, and they're not gonna be numbered with the saints when they come in called Israel. He said it. I didn't say it. I'm reading what he said. The names of the wicked should not be mingled with the names of my people. So who's teaching that they can be mingled? He didn't get it from the Most High, whoever said it. And what I'm saying cannot be confounded because the Most High said it. If you saying that this is a lie, you calling him a lie. And if you calling him a liar, you ain't no prophet of his. You of your father, the devil. You shall make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Exodus 23:31-33. And I will set your bonds from the Red Sea even unto the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert unto the river, for I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, I will surely be a snare unto you. You shall not make marriages with them. Your daughter shall not give unto his son, nor his daughter shall you take unto your son from these nations. Interfaith marriage, meaning going and becoming a Christian or whatever religion they got, nor temporal marriage. For they will turn away your son from following me. The apostasy of Israel. That is the apostasy of Israel. That they may serve other gods. Deuteronomy 6:13-15. You shall fear the Lord your God and serve him and shall swear by his name. You should not go after other gods of the gods of the people which are round about you. the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. For the Lord your God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord your God be kindled against you, and destroy you from off the face of the earth. Doctrine and Covenants 4 and 2. So he had a solution also to that I didn't read for like a second time. Let me see if I can find it. Verse 66. You can read this on your own time. Deuteronomy 23 and 4. That an Amorite or a Moabite shall never marry the daughter of an Israelite. Not to exclude a descendant of Esau from the community of Israel for 3 generations. See, because after 3 generations, it's not going to be Esau no more. Esau going to be Israelited out. Not to exclude an Egyptian from the community of Israel for 3 generations. Because after 3 generations, the Egyptian will be Israelited out. Doctrines and Covenants 4 and 2. But he said he's not going to suffer us to be like them of old, so he don't want us to marry them. But those who already did it, he said those who had already done it, after 3 generations, then they'll be able to come back. Because then there won't be no more Esau or Egypt in them. Doctrine and Covenants 4 and 2. Therefore, O you that embark in the service of God, see that you serve him with all your heart. That's part of what it means by serving with all your heart. Might, mind, and strength, that you may stand blameless before the God at the last day. See, if you have done these things, you're not blameless. Particularly if you're still doing it. After you knew better. Let's see. That one who is divorced his wife shall not remarry her, if after the divorce she had been married to another man. Deuteronomy 24 through 4. I'm just going over some things. You look it up yourself. That a man may not divorce his wife concerning whom he has published an evil report about her unchastity before marriage. So you trying to say that she was unfaithful to you before he got married? That's why you want. He said, nah. Especially if it comes out that she still was faithful, then you gotta stay with that woman. That one who defames his wife's honor by falsely accusing her of unchastity before marriage must live with her all his lifetime. That a woman suspected of adultery shall be dealt with as prescribed in the Torah, Numbers 5 and 30. Not to commit incest with one's mother, Leviticus 18 and 7. Not to commit sodomy with one's father, Leviticus 18 and 7. Not to commit incest with one's father's wife, Leviticus 18:8, not to commit incest with one's sister. Leviticus 18:9, not to commit incest with one's father's wife, daughter. Leviticus 18:9, not to commit incest with one's son's daughter. Leviticus 18:10. To divorce by a formal written document. Deuteronomy 24:1. Not to castrate the male of any species, neither a man, nor a domestic, or wild beast, nor fowl. Other words, especially even if you go in when they want to snip your nuts, so you can have more children, that's also considered castration. So don't be letting women talk you into talking about once you snip. Not to curse any other Israelite. Leviticus 19:14. Not to put any Jew to shame. Leviticus 19:17. Just bear, I'm looking over some things. That an Ammonite or a Moabite shall never marry the daughter of an Israelite. Deuteronomy 23:4. to keep the Canaanite slave forever. Leviticus 25 and 46. And you should, let me read it. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall you buy, and of their families that are with you, which they beget in your land, they shall be your possession. Perpetually. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, you should not rule over one over another with rigor. Once I'm done with this, maybe I'll come back to the court and judicial procedures, maybe on tomorrow, maybe we'll see. To honor father and mother, Exodus 20 and 12. Not to smite a father or a mother, Exodus 21 and 15. Not to curse a father or a mother, Exodus 21 and 17. To reverently fear father and mother, Leviticus 19 and 3. Let's see. All right, let's see. This is what I'm going to get back here again. Not to remove landmarks, property boundaries, Deuteronomy 19 and 14. You should not remove your neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in your inheritance, which you shall inherit in the land that Yahweh or the law your God giveth you to possess it. Well, these Europeans have removed most of our landmarks. Deuteronomy 27 and 17, cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark. And all the people shall say, Amen. Job 24:2, some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. Proverbs 22:28, remove not the ancient landmarks which your fathers have set. Hosea 5:10, the princes of Judah were like them that removed the bound. Therefore I will pour out my wrath upon them like water. That was part of that judgment. Not to swear falsely in denial of another's property rights. Leviticus 19:11. Not to deny falsely another's property rights. You should not steal. Stealing. Neither deal falsely. Doctrine and Covenants 136:25. If you borrow of your neighbor, thou shalt restore that which you have borrowed. And if you cannot repay, then go straight away and tell your neighbor, lest he condemn you. Neither lie one to another. Lying, liar, lie. And you shall not swear by my name falsely. Sworn. By my name falsely. Use honesty. In other words, good faith. Full disclosure. Neither shall you profane the name of your God. I am the law. Profanity. You should not defraud your neighbor. Deuteronomy 24:15. And at his day, you should give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor and setteth his heart upon it. He looking forward to that payment. Lest he cry against you unto the law, and it be sin unto you. Fraud. You should not defraud your neighbor. Neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with you all night until the morning. Wages. You should not curse. The deaf. Compassion. Nor put a stumbling block. Romans 14:13. Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way. Stumbling block before the blind. So he don't know no better. Let me just trick him. Deuteronomy 27:18. Cursed be he that maketh the blind to wander out of the way. And all the people shall say, Amen. But shall fear your God, I am the law. Yahweh, note that this phrase occurs 15 times like a seal of authority upon each of these statutes. When he says the law, that means Yahweh. When he says I am the law, that's like a seal of his approval, of his authority. You shall do no unrighteousness. Exodus 23:1-3. You shall not raise a false report. Put not your hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. You should not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shall you speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Neither shall your countenance or countenance a poor man in his cause. You should not do unrighteousness in judgment. You should not respect the persons of the poor, nor honor the persons of the mighty. Show unjust favoritism either to the humble or the mighty. You shall not respect persons in judgment, but you shall hear the small as well as the great. You should not be afraid of the faces of man, for the judgment is God's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. The same thing he told you in Genesis. The sealed portion, chapter 27. He said, if warn them in my name, if they don't want to hear you, after all these admonitions, then bring the case to me, and I'm gonna hear it, and I'm not gonna remove the case from before me until I've visited upon them, their children, into the third and fourth generation. Doctrine and Covenants 38:25-27. And again I say unto you, let every man esteem his brother as himself. For what man among you having 12 sons and is no respecter of them, and they serve him obediently, and he said unto one, be you clothed in robes and sit you here, and to the others, be you clothed in rags and sit you there. And looked upon his sons and said, I am just. Behold, this I have given unto you as a parable, and it is even as I am. And I say unto you, be one. If you are not one, you are not mine. But in righteousness shall you judge your neighbor. Righteousness. According to his word. Whatever his word say, that's righteous. Not to deny falsely another's property rights. Never to settle in the land of Egypt. Not to steal personal property. That's also included in Leviticus 19:11. To restore that which one took by robbery. Leviticus 5. Good morning. Well, in the Book of Mormon edition, it goes on to 19. Maybe they didn't want to put that part on there, but I'm going to go to the Bible. To restore that which one took by robbery. Then it will be when he has sinned and has become guilty that he must restore what he took by robbery, or what he got by extortion, or the deposit that was committed to him, or what was lost that he found. To return lost property. You shall not see your brother's ox or sheep. Let this work himself out. You shall not see your brother's ox or his sheep. Brotherhood and sisterhood go astray, and hide yourself from them, though you shall in any case bring them again unto your brother. Exodus 23:4. If you meet your enemy's ox or his ass going astray, you shall surely bring it back to him again. among your brethren. Not to pretend not to have seen lost property to avoid the obligation to return it. In like manner, you shall do with his eyes, so shall you do with his raiment, and with all lost things of your brothers, which has been lost and you have found, that you do likewise, you may not hide yourself. Doctrine and Covenants 136-26. You shall find that which your neighbor has lost. You shall make diligent search till you shall deliver it to him again. Criminal laws. Criminal laws. Not to slay an innocent person. Exodus 20. Letting the fonts work themselves out. You should not kill. This is basically the 10 Commandments, as they say. Let's go over. For in 6 days the law made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them is, and rested on the 7th day. Exodus 31-17, it is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the law made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. Moses 2:24-31. And I, God, said, let the earth bring forth the living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth after their kind, and it was so. And I, God, made the beasts of the earth after their kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything which creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And I, God, saw that these things were good. And I, God, said unto mine only begotten, which was with me from the beginning, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And it was so. And I, God, said, let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. See, the man that was made in his image are the Israelites. And he gave us dominion. That's what the Roman Catholic Pope by necessity had to give back to us. And had to admit violating these laws of the Creator, which was a criminal act for over 150 years by their own acknowledgement, notated. And I, God, said, let them have dominion over the fishes of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And I, God, created man in mine own image. In the image of mine only begotten created I him, male and female created I them, the Israelites. And I, God, blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And I, God, said unto man, Behold, I've given you the herb of bearing every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth. To let you know what I'm saying is true. You go to the book of Remembrance of Enoch, the singing book of Haggai. Is that the book I'm looking for? Or is it the... First of all, let me go here, though. Let me go here first. Says 5:71, and know, my children, that as you are called to dress and keep eating, it may not always be that the order of life that is here will remain the same. For all living souls can choose for themselves which way they will go. And all creation is made out of my love for you and none else. For you alone are created in my image, in both your body and your spirit. Therefore, it is the duty of all the souls in creation to diligently follow after the definition of every form they have taken because of you. And it is the duty of them all to walk in harmony of oneness before you and their Creator. And all creation also has a new task this day. And their task from this, the day of your espousal, is to worship together with the two of you, and thus obey the desires of your heart. And they are to share with you all the joys of your happiness, and they are to speak. Do animals speak? I mean, the creeping things, do the cows and the lions and the bears, oh my, do all of these speak? No. Man speaks. And they are to share with you all the joys of your happiness, and they are to speak and sing of the joys in you before all their fellows. Just in case somebody listening, since I turned to it, let me go and read it to you. This is just like some extra points. Ain't got to do with the subject, but I'm just going to put it in there because I read into it. People always talk about the mark of the beast. First, Aki 13:24. And it came to pass that in those days there were men upon the earth who held great riches and power to determine the kingdom. We got everything to do with it, really. Because it's talking about the other man that's not made in his image. And it came to pass in those days there were men upon the earth who held great riches and power, who determined that the kingdom that made them rich should not pass from before their eye. And they thrust themselves into the war on the side of Semahiah, and they set their hand to the task of oppression. Note at the bottom, the mark of the beast. And because of this, the war in heaven again increased. See, the mark of the beast is their weapon of warfare, oppression. Everything else comes out of it. Racism, all of the evil works, everything they do in bad faith comes out of oppression. Talking about this other man, not made in his image. Envy, jealous, all those things because they're not made in his image. And they wouldn't give him dominion. So they took it for a time, times, and a half a time until the kingdom has been restored to it. By necessity. The difference between man and the other being man is the image of God. First Zacchaeus chapter 10, verse 97. And when living souls are spoken of in the referring to all living souls, including all the Ekadacha and mankind and the Dekadacha, the difference between man and the others being man is the image of God. And its agency is not fixed but continues on each moment of his life. See, the other one called man, their agency is fixed. They've already been determined to be exterminated by the Most High. But the ones in his image, his agency is not fixed, but continues on each moment of his life. So he was talking about the Israelites that was created in his image, has dominion. And I, God, blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moved upon the earth. That's the air jurisdiction, the sea jurisdiction, and the land jurisdiction. All jurisdictions have been given back to our domain by necessity, like it was in the beginning. All things are returning as it were. And I, God, said unto man, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which shall be the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. To every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein I grant life, there should be given every clean herb for meat. And it was so, even as I spake. And I, God, saw everything that I had made, and behold, all things which I had made were very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. And in the 6 days, Yahweh made heaven and the earth, the sea and all that is in them is, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the law blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Genesis 2, 1 through 3. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and restored and rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. Mosiah 13 and 19. And for in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, and the sea and all that is in them is. Wherefore the law of Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Doctrines and Covenants 77 and 12. What are we to understand by sounding of the trumpets mentioned in the 8th chapter of Revelation? We are to understand that as God made the world in 6 days, and on the seventh day he finished his work and sanctified it, and also formed man out of the dust of the earth. Even so, in the beginning of the 7,000 years, will Yahweh God sanctify the earth and complete the salvation of man, Israel. And judge all things, and shall redeem all things, except that which he had not put in his power, when he shall have sealed all things, until the end of all things, and sounding the trumpets of the 7 angels, are the preparing of the finishing of his work. In the beginning of the 7,000 years, the preparing of the way before the time of his coming. Then you know we're in the 7,000 year right now. That's why we blowing the trumpets. Bless the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Sanctify or consecrate. Honor. Respect or value family, children, duties of family, love within, honoring father and mother, respect. Family, children, duties of family, children. Love within family, honoring father and mother, respect. Honor your father. Patriarchal family. And your mother. Marriage, motherhood. That your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God has given you. Proverbs 4:10, hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of your life shall be many. That your days may be long. Deuteronomy 11:8-9, therefore you shall keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that you may be strong and go in and possess the land, whither you go to possess it. And that you may prolong your days in the land which the law sware unto your fathers to give unto them and to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 16-17 and 21. Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and you turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, unless you perish quickly from off the good land which Yahweh giveth you, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land of the law swear unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. First Nephi 17:55. And now they said, we know of a surety that Yahweh is with you, for we know that it is the power of Yahweh that has shaken us. And they fell down before me and were about to worship me, but I would not suffer them, saying, I am your brother, even your younger brother. Wherefore worship Yahweh your God, and honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long in the land which Yahweh your God shall give you. Helaman 7:24. For behold, they are more righteous than you, for they have not sinned against that great knowledge which you have received. Therefore Yahweh will be merciful unto them, yet he will lengthen out their days and increase their seed, even when you shall be utterly destroyed, except you shall repent. Doctrine and Covenants 5:33. And there are many that lie in wait to destroy you from off the face of the earth. And for this cause, that your days may be prolonged, I have given unto these commandments. I have given unto you these commandments. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which Yahweh, the law, your God, has given you. The promised land. These United States, this America. Promised lands. Most of our promised land is here in America. Some promised land is over what they call Africa, depending on who you are, what tribe you are. You should not kill. Murder, blood shedding of life, sanctity of murder, shedding of blood, sanctity of life, murder, murderers, a murderer. You should not commit adultery. Adulterer, adultery, chaste, chastity, fornication, sensuality, sexual immorality. You should not steal. Stealing, stolen. You should not bear false witness against your neighbor. False witness. Gossip. Honesty, lying, lie, slander. You should not bear false witness against your neighbor. You should not covet your neighbor's house. You should not covet your neighbor's wife. Desire, take pleasure in. Covetousness. Your neighbor's wife. Husband's marriage. Wife's marriage. Nor his manservant, nor his maiden, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is your neighbor's. Not to rob by violence. Leviticus 19. 13. You should not rob by violence. You should not defraud. Deuteronomy 24:15. At this day you shall give him his hire. Neither shall you shun the goat. Neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against you unto the law, and it be sin unto you. You should not defraud your neighbor. Neither rob him. The wages of him that hired shall not abide with you all night until the morning. Not to defraud. Leviticus 19:13. Not to covet what belongs to another. What is mine by right, don't be coveting. I got the right to want to do with it. And if I'm righteous, I'll do what the Most High told me to do. Allow the righteous poor in Israel who are in need to have a few of my crumbs. That's all required of me. I'm not required to give it all, else I'll be poor just like them again. And you too, if you give everything you got, and that's happened before. That's why I say to the righteous, because the wicked gonna always come and try to take every dime you got, and then once you gone, you ain't hear from them no more. Not to covet what belongs to another. Adultery. Also, that spiritual adultery, you lusting for something that belongs to somebody else. Adulterer, adultery, chastity, chaste, fornication, sensuality, sexual immorality. Not to crave something that belongs to another. Deuteronomy 5, Book of Mormon. And it ain't nothing wrong with checking to see if somebody really in need either. Because they will send people to you that's wicked, trying to pretend to be in need. To be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. If somebody get mad at you for questioning if they in need, then you know that's the devil. Once again, it said the same thing. These show you commit adultery. So it's talking about spiritual adultery along with as well as physical adultery. Not to indulge in evil thoughts and sights. Numbers 15 and 37. And the law spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes. Deuteronomy 22 and 12. You shall make you fringes upon the four quarters of your vesture, wherewith you can converse yourself. Make fringes in the borders of their garments. Matthew 23 and 5. But all their works they do, for to be seen of men, they make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments. See, it's talking about the fringes. There's nothing wrong with the fringes because that's a commandment, but the Most High is putting a little bit of balance to it. Some people just wear fringes to be seen to be having some fringes on. Other words, read it like this. They wear fringes to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments. To be seen of man to be wearing fringes, but they don't keep no commandments. They don't do what's right. They just want to be seen with fringes on. Then your fringes are useless. Make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations that they can put upon the fringes of the borders of ribbon of blue. See, blue represents the priesthood, Melchizedek priesthood. And it shall be unto you a fringe that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the law and do them, not to just be seen wearing them. And that you seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you use to go a-whoring. You wearing fringes, but then you pull you pull stuff down and doing evil works, and then pull it back up and wear your fringes. Yeah. That you may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God. I am the law, your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the law, your God. Praise the Most High for allowing me to read his word. Most High should have saying we'll go through some more of these. This is a good word. All praises to the Most High. All praises to his holy name.